Creating a space where people can come together and learn about something that's really important and essential to our living is unlike anything else.
I call myself a farmer. They often say, oh, wow, really? And you're like, well, yeah, urban farmer. But I don't see that there's a huge distinction. So farming vegetables on a small scale.
This is Farm Raiser. We are in Bellfield in the northeast of Melbourne on Wurundjeri country. The farm is 2 acres and we grow on about half of that. We grow seasonal veggies, fruit and flowers, and currently we've got in lots of tomatoes, zucchinis, cucumbers, salad mix, lots of dahlias, sunflowers, strawberries.
We started the farm knowing that we want to focus on food security as an issue that's really important to us and something that we could actually try and address through using our produce. The ability to access high quality, fresh vegetables and other produce without stress and with dignity. So I think that it's really important for people to be able to get it when they need it and not feel shamed for it.
I'm Eve and I farm with Pat, Kirsty and Charlotte.
Are they at a harvest and then pull out phase? Yeah.
The people that I've been able to create this farm with have become some of my best mates. It was one of those things that without really trying, we managed to create a dynamic with the 4 of us where we all sort of filled different parts that were required to make a farm and a business like this happen.
Kirsty, Pat and Charlotte met while studying at Burnley. Burnley is the horticultural campus of Melbourne Uni. It's one of the best places to study horticulture, certainly in Australia, if not the world.
And it was there that we came up with the idea for Farm Raiser. So we founded it in 2018 and we planted our first crops in 2020.
I jumped in a couple of years later after they'd done all of the paperwork, and I was studying the same course at Burnley and had heard about them through my networks and arrived as a volunteer and never left.
Stumbled across this site. I was living around the corner at the time, studying horticulture, and so always looking for spaces to grow food in the city. I knew I wanted to live in the city, but I also wanted to grow food, and so sort of get the best of both worlds. This site used to be a school oval connected to the secondary school that used to be here. It's now Waratah Special Developmental School, and so the farm leases it off the school. The difficulty is that it's a somewhat flimsy lease. The state government have a 6-month clause to say that for any reason they can reclaim the space for education, that is. But we sort of treat it that we are going to be here for a much longer period of time so we can spend money on infrastructure and long-term items. It is a little scary, just try not to think about it.
I think we have the opportunity, because we are a not-for-profit and we're in the local community, we can have direct access to people and offer a personal service, essentially. And I think also involvement with the community on the farm and the students on the farm as well. We definitely, the farm is there to facilitate people. As much as it has to pay for itself through selling vegetables, it is also there to facilitate people to connect with nature and to learn about vegetables and to kind of connect with each other and just have some time outside.
We do a lot of school programs with the school on this site. Things like propagation, planting. For now, there's kids out here almost every day. The curriculum runs right through the farm. The 2 are intrinsically linked.
We sell wholesale to restaurants, grocery stores, cafes and veggie box programs, and also through our on-site farm shop. We sell our own produce, but also produce that we buy in from around Victoria from farmers that we trust. It's an honesty system, so you can just pop into the shop, just choose your own adventure, and there's an option to pay as you feel.
So I grew up in a farming community and I was pretty shocked moving to the city and realising how little people knew about where their food came from. A story that doesn't get told very often, and it's often not seen, is that the relentless hours that farmers put in. So a big focus point for me with the farm was having it be an education point where people could really get an understanding about where their food comes from. You know, even though it's on such a small scale compared to what happens in the rural areas of our country and across the world, it's a little bit of a snippet, a bit of an insight into what happens to produce a carrot. Yeah.
Our volunteer program is probably one of my favourite things about the farm. It is every Friday, and we have a whole mix of different people coming to the farm. We have people as old as 81, people as young as 12.
I just try and come as much as I can to be outside, just working and eating. I love the people here. The generosity, very kind. I feel free, happy and not stressed.
I've been coming a year and a half. Yeah, every Friday morning. It's in my diary, nothing else gets planned. So I love hanging out here because of all the gang that run it. I've learnt so much.
Everyone has a shared purpose and we can bond over something that we have in common, like we're all diverse ages and backgrounds, and learn that there's all different ways to live.
Snip these off?
Yes. It's my happy place. It's like when I got a new job, I made sure to always have Fridays off so I could come, and like I noticed when I didn't come, like for a few weeks, my mood would like drop.
People come and then everyone has relationships with each other and people know each other and we know each other's lives, and it kind of has built into this small community of people who come together and we potter around on the farm, and it's lovely.
I think farming can often be quite isolating, and just working in community doesn't have the horticultural aspect. So this is the perfect balance, I think, for me.
I think I keep coming back because it's hard to leave something that you love. You know, you become an adult and a lot of people hate their job, and, you know, I don't, so I feel very lucky for that.
There was quite a few years of, you know, loneliness and stress and working really hard to get it started. But the most beautiful thing was that the community came to us. They got involved, and through that, the farm became this entity bigger than myself and bigger than us. And it's this very special thing to be part of something that feels like it'll go on without you. And that is probably my favourite thing about the farm.
I don't know, it's just happened so organically and so naturally, and it's really, really strong, and it's, it's impressive, and I feel really lucky to be a part of it.